everyone, today we're going to find out how to do a confidence interval for a proportion. So right here is the equation to find a confidence interval for a proportion, and it states that p hat plus or minus the z-score times the square root of p hat times 1 minus p hat over n equals your confidence interval. So right here is what would be stated in the problem. You're going to have x and n, so n is your whole sample of people. In this case, it's 125, and 25 is the number that you're actually testing, so the proportion of the whole. And for this example, we'll use a 95% confidence interval. So those are the only three numbers you need to be given to do your problem. So to start out, we'll find p hat, which is also called the sample proportion. And the sample proportion is just the x number, so the sample of the whole, which in this case is 25, divided by the entire sample, which is 125. Hit enter, and now it's 0.2 is p hat. Now your sample size is given in the problem as 125. And now you're on to finding the z-score. So you can use a table online or on paper to find the z-score, but right here I just entered a chart and it has some of the most popular confidence levels that are usually used in these types of problems: 90, 95, 99, 99.9, and the z-value that corresponds with it. So if you can memorize these, it's easier because you don't have to do math to find them. So 95 confidence level is going to always have a z-value of 1.96, so you go 1.96, and now you can go on to finding the confidence interval. So when I do these problems, I like to break up the equation just to make it easier because there are a lot of parentheses. So I'm going to start with just this half, and then we're going to add and subtract the numbers from p hat afterwards. So to find it, we start with the equal sign, and now this is our z-score. So we use the 1.96 that we found from the table, and then we're going to multiply it by the square root, SQRT, parentheses, of p hat times, parentheses, 1 minus p hat, same number, close those parentheses, and divide it by n, which is our sample size of 125, add another parentheses, and hit enter. We get 0.07 roughly, but we're not going to round it to keep the data exact. So now to find our lower limit, we do the equal sign, and we take p hat, 0.2, and we subtract what we just found. And then for the upper limit, we do the same thing, take p hat, except we add the number we just found. And this right here is your confidence interval, so if we want to simplify it, we'll put our brackets and do 0.130 to round it up, and then 0.270. Just to simplify it all and close it up in our brackets. And there we have the confidence interval of a proportion.